Hello, I'm Matt from ludovox.fr, and today I'm going to give you an overview of the Spcecialists. So the Spcecialists is a dice management game for 1 to 4 players ages 14 and up, and it plays for around 60 minutes. So the Spcecialists is a game about you as a gang, and you try to rob a lot of things, and especially millions of dollars in banks, in casinos, and jewelry shops. And you're going to do that by recruiting specialists into your team. And the specialists are going to give you skills that allow you to get into different facilities. So the game is going to be played in several rounds, 12 at maximum, and this is the number of informant cards. But it can end sooner if a player robs its 7th time. So how does a round play? Basically, you're going to have a preparation phase, and then every player is going to take a turn, and then you have a cleanup phase. So during a player turn, what you're going to do is 3 steps in this order. You're going to select a die from the available dice pool. You take a die and place it onto your die track, and then you're going to move on to the second step, which is using a specialist. So you can either use a specialist and maybe recruit them, or you can become an informant and get the bonus printed on the card. So let's imagine I don't want to use that and I want to recruit a specialist. To recruit a specialist, you need to pay a die with the value printed in white. So I want to get a Mr. Purple here, and I don't have a 5. That's fine, since some spots here have powers, and they can change the value of the die I'm going to use. So I can use a 4, turn it into a 5, and place my Mr. Purple on top of my other Mr. Purple. When I recruit a specialist, I can activate it by spending a die by the value of the black die. So I can spend this, and then I will be able to activate the box that is here. If I activate the box of a specialist, I will also trigger something if I have more than one specialist of that skill. So in this case, I have 2 of them, so that means I can perform that box twice, or I can perform all of my purple boxes once. It's either or. What happens is sometimes I don't want to recruit a specialist in my team because I want a specialist for a temporary power up. So I can fast play a specialist for the black value. So let's imagine I want to fast play that. Instead of recruiting, I will place a die here by the black value. I will trigger that value as well, and then I will have that specialist for the remainder of the turn. However, I cannot do that since I recruited a specialist this turn. Once you have used the specialist card or taken the informant bounty, you will be able to move on to the 3rd step. And the 3rd step is making a heist, or getting the informant bounty as well. So to make a heist, you need to select a city, and you need to meet its requirements. For example, if I want to go to Roma, I need 2 contortionists. I have them. 1 heavy. I have no heavy specialist, but I have a heavy token that I can spend to meet the requirements. And 2 equipment. Equipment is on a gauge here, and basically I have none, but I can discard any number of dice to increase my equipment by 1 per discarded dice. So I will be able to spend those, and then I meet the requirements for that city. So I will rob that city. What happens if I perform a heist is I'm going to take one of my gang signature tokens and place it on one of the available facilities. So if I place it in a casino, no one will be able to visit that casino. I cannot visit that city again because I am notorious here, and I will collect the reward there. So in this case, $8 million. Because I am the first in this city, I will be able to take a token, a first prime token. So I will take that token. It is a skill token that I can use like my heavy token before. So I can have various abilities, so for example extra dice, and so on and so forth. So that's the end of my turn, and then we move on to the next player's turn, and so on. Once all players have played, you are going to move on to the next round, but you're going to do a cleanup phase in which you remove everything that hasn't been used, and you also pass the first player token to the left. So when you recruit a specialist, if this is the 3rd specialist of that kind, you are going to be able to get an expert tile. And those expert tile, they are going to go there and they are going to provide you with special passive abilities. You can also have different expert tiles here, which give you money, or dice or skills, and those are going to be awarded if you do different things like having 1 specialist of each, 3 expert tiles, or robbing those kinds of buildings. So this is it for the game. You're going to be playing 12 rounds maximum, 12 informant cards maximum, because you're going to flip another card. Or if a player depletes their token stack, if they have performed 7 heists, this is the end of the game as well. And you're going to count up the millions of dollars that the players have accumulated, and the highest total wealth determines the winner. So that's it for the basics of the Specialist. This is a game about trying to recruit specialists that combine well together and that allow you to go in certain places and to rob certain things. But sometimes you just want the specialists for their abilities and special powers. So now, bye-bye. See you on LudoChrono.